Yes, guys, what's going on? Shuri here. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. God, that intro felt very, very strange to say. Boys, amazing to be back. The first video back on YouTube. I'm so sorry of how long it has been. Of course, a lot of stuff's gone on recently over the summer, fellas. Of course, as you can probably tell right here, I have indeed left #United after an absolutely amazing 4 years. Now, all of that to be revealed as to why, etc., and what's going on in my future very, very soon, boys. The only reason I haven't updated you yet on YouTube, I have on other social media platforms, which I'm sure some of you boys would have seen. But yeah, I'll have a video explaining everything coming out very, very soon, and some news about my future. However, I thought I cannot deprive you guys of videos until that point. So, we have just played the first weekend league with this absolute god squad and gone 20-0, and we're going to bring you boys all the custom tactics that I used for this fantastic and sensational weekend league. So like I said, boys, all to be explained in my future, coming out in a video extremely soon. However, I had to bring you guys these 20-0 custom tactics, which I literally got this morning playing. It took us about 4 hours, boys, and I might release the highlights for these as well. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below, boys. It's great to be back to YouTube. I'm so sorry for the long break, fellas. All will be explained extremely soon, and I'll update you boys on everything. But for now, boys, we're going to get into these best 20-0 custom tactics for you boys to use in Weekend League. And without further ado, let's jump into the squad we used. So, fellas, first bit of FIFA 23 action on the channel this year. Now, as you can see, we've got 200k coins in the corner, which isn't too much in terms of what we need. I need to buy R9. 207,000 FIFA points. Bosh. Now that is rather fantastic, fellas, because I've still got all of that to spend, and we've got this team. Now, this being the squad, boys, that I went 20-0 with this morning on Foot Champs, and we're going to roll through all the custom tactics for you boys here today in order to see, you know, what we're using so far in FIFA 23. Obviously, we've got some crazy meta going on with all this lengthy stuff flying around the gaff, and just an interesting start to a FIFA. I feel like it's been quite an upbeat start to a FIFA. But without further ado, boys, you're not here to hear me waffle. You're here to see some custom tactics. Now, fellas, I've got 4 tactics set up here today. 3 of which being I didn't really switch to. In fact, you know what? I didn't even switch to 2 of them throughout this whole weekend league. Now, boys, we're going to start off with the first formation of the 4 being the 4-2-3-1. Now, this one, chaps, I'm not going to talk about too much. The next formation is going to be the main one we speak about in this video, boys. Now, so far, lads, in this FIFA, I have just gone extremely balanced in terms of width, depth, on attacking and on defensive sort of situations as well, with the defensive style and offensive style. However, one thing extremely important that was very good last year and seems to be good again this year, boys, is direct passing. So obviously, as you can see on the little diagram over there, yeah, you know, giving us a great example of how that works. Direct passing was extremely good last year and very good this year. I've got the players on 3 in get in the box, like, I don't know, on the defensive one, boys. This is basically what I'm switching to, yeah? If it's absolute mayday situations. You've got the opponent throwing the kitchen sink at you, and you want to close out a game. This is the formation I would advise, boys, a 4-2-3-1. Now, chaps, in each position, the only thing I've really done mainly to the players, boys, is come back on defense, right? So come back on defense on the left cam, the middle cam, the right cam. We've got stay back while attacking on the 2 CDMs, boys, and then also stay back while attacking on the fullbacks. This is literally just a full sit back, chill formation. Slightly ratty, some could say, boys, but it's a good way to close out a game 4-2-3-1. It's a very, very solid formation, chaps. So that's the 4-2-3-1. Now, boys, the formation I used the entire weekend and that I want to speak in depth about being the 4-4-2, boys. Now, the tactics I used on this was 60 depth, 50 width on the defensive side, and then, of course, in the build-up play, we've got balance, chance creation, direct passing. Once again, what we spoke about before previously in the direct passing, boys, is very, very important. Now, lads, we've got a lot to speak about in terms of tactics on this game and in terms of what works and what doesn't. Now, the 4-4-2, I really like it, lads. I mean, I've always used the 4-4-2 quite a lot, and a very balanced version of it being this one. I'd like my depth on 60. I just want my players a little bit higher up. I like winning the ball high up the pitch as possible. So having that little bit more depth is very, very nice. Now, obviously, what we know is going on at the moment, boys, in this game is absolutely mental in terms of the lengthy stuff, right? I mean, you've got players absolutely zooming all over the gaff, these tall players. But I still believe, like, you know, someone like Mbappe is better than a Haaland, for example, in my opinion. More into the tactical side of things, boys. 4-4-2, I mean, works very, very well for a lot of reasons, right? So I set my team up like this. Sorry, I've just gone to another formation there. Done it again somehow. So I put Dembele on the left, Vinicius on the right. Obviously, one of them things very important for, boys, is Trivela shot. So I would always say, lads, and it goes the same with your strikers, if you've got a left and a right-footed striker, make sure you put them on the side of that foot, if that makes sense. So a left-footed player put on the left side, right-footed player put on the right side. Because the Trivela shots in this game, lads, are an absolute joke, like genuinely a joke. And I'm sure a lot of you boys would have seen on TikTok or whatever in highlights videos on YouTube or even just Twitter clips, people doing these Trivela shots, which is absolutely sensational and unbelievable. Torrens, Renato in the centre midfield spots, and of course Ginola and Mbappe up top. But honestly, boys, this game does feel quite similar to FIFA 22 in a way. But honestly, lads, these tactics are extremely balanced. As you can see on the strikers here, I just have mixed attack. I don't want them completely getting in behind, because what I like in this game is if you've got your striker not going all the way in behind, you can have them there on the edge of the box, pass it into them, Trivela shots once again, boys. And if I've got the ball with my winger, I don't always want my attacker going in behind, because I can always just trigger that myself using L1, of course. I can trigger that myself, boys. So I've got balanced on the strikers, balanced on the CMs, which is very interesting, lads, because it's nice in a 4-4-2, and this is what works really well for me, is having your CMs be able to come up and help you in game, basically. So that's very, very good. Then on the right mid and left mid, again, I've got no changes, just complete normal. You know, nothing like get back, stay back or anything like that. It's just completely balanced. The only thing I do on this entire formation, lads, in terms of editing the players, is stay back while attacking on the fullbacks. Stay back while attacking on the fullbacks is just so important, especially in a 4-back, because if you get exposed on the counter-attack somehow, you can just get absolutely slide tackled, boys.
It's not very, very good, to be honest.
So that's why I have stay back while attacking on the 2 fullbacks in this formation, boys. But the 4-4-2 is very, very good, and it's just a very solid formation and cancels out quite a few formations as well, which is extremely good. So that's my 4-4-2, boys, and that's what I mainly used for the entirety of the weekend league. We then have 5-1-2-2, boys, this being one of the most spoken about formations so far in FIFA 23, lads. Again, I've got very basic stuff going on, 50, 50, and 50 for all of them, chaps. Direct passing once again. While we're figuring out the meta of the game, boys, direct passing seems to be the best thing. Getting it into a player's feet is extremely, extremely important. Now, the 5-back, boys, this essentially is a 4-1-2-1-2 diamond formation, but you've got the centre-back, like the CDM almost is dropped deeper, if that makes sense, in this formation. And then obviously you've got like your cam in sort of a CDM spot in Yaya Touré as well. A very, very defensive formation here, boys. Vinicius being on the right of centre midfield, of course, for the Trivela shots. But seriously, lads, again, I barely changed anything on this formation too much, right? Because it is very defensive, this formation. Now, you might want to switch stay back while attacking on your CDM, but other than that, boys, the only changes again I'm making are stay back while attacking on the right back and left back. However, overlap on the fullbacks, boys. Now, one thing very advantageous with 5-back, lads, and you're going to be seeing this formation a hell of a lot throughout the year, boys, I reckon, is putting overlap on your fullbacks is really, really good for a 5-back, especially because you struggle for width in a 5-back. So it's very important, boys, that in this formation, 5-1-2-2, you whack your fullbacks on overlap, chaps, and you'll potentially go to the moon, boys. But everyone else, no changes, just like the other formations, boys. It's literally the exact same. And then finally, we have got my attacking formation, boys. Now, this is what I would switch to if I'm trying to get back into a game. I'm probably 2 goals down. 4-2-2 is an absolute beamer of a formation in order to get you back into games in FIFA 23, fellas. Really consistent and always has been over all the FIFAs. And it works really, really well again this year. Now, in this formation, again, all I'm doing is putting stay back while attacking on my fullbacks. Everyone else is on the same thing. I know you could say, why don't you put getting behind on the strikers? I still like to be able to trigger my strikers' runs on my own. The last thing you want, boys, when someone's sat back at the end of a game is to be having your strikers trying to sprint in behind when you actually need them to come to feet, right? When they're on the edge of the box, especially when your opponent's got about 1 million men sat behind the ball being absolute wongle-pongles, right? So it's important to not put getting behind on the strikers. That's my take on it, in my opinion. And like I said, the CM's completely just the same as well, boys. So nothing is edited on this one as well, other than stay back while attacking on the fullbacks, boys, in a 4-2-2. And a 4-2-2 you will have a lot of success with. But mainly what I would say is with these custom tactics, these 4 formations here are 4 extremely strong formations in FIFA 23, lads. I would seriously advise you guys giving them a go. This is going to be really, really powerful throughout the year, this 5-1-2-2. I'm extremely confident of that this is going to be all over the gaff. 4-2-2, again, great with constant press on. Now, sometimes this might go between balanced and constant press, depending on what the actual score is in the game. But constant press is a lot of the time what I'll have it on, because it'll be when I'm like 2-0 down and I need to get a goals back. Absolute kitchen shit. Absolute kitchen sink job, if you know what I'm saying, fellas. For now, lads, I would say give some of the balanced formations a try, like a 4-4-2, a 4-2-2. Try and figure out the game as much as possible. Obviously, we are a new FIFA, so there's a lot going on, and the meta's shifting all over the gaff. But hopefully that was helpful for you, boys. But a quick little tip I can say is try and get as many Trivela shots in as possible. Try and learn to green as much as possible. It's really, really important in this game and works very well with the long shots and also inside the box too. And working as many skill moves into your game as possible is extremely important, boys. But that was my main formation that we hit the 20-0 on FIFA 23, the first weekend league of FUT Champs on, boys. That was a very long sentence. So that'll be it for the custom tactics video, boys. If you did enjoy it, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, lads. God, it's been a very, very long time since I've said that. All will be revealed and updated on the whole leaving of hashtag and what's going on with my future, boys, extremely soon. But I thought I had to get a video up for you guys. So that's that, fellas. But I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you boys all on the next one.